How did a humble farmer child also imprisoned establish an imperium with a $280 billion net worth? A brand new Lamborghini sports vehicle typically costs slightly over $200,000, making it too expensive for most people. Consequently, how did he go from 0 to 100? And how did he manage to accomplish the unthinkable? To learn the storyline twist we will reveal, stay tuned until the very end of the video. Let's start with Ferruccio Lamborghini's earliest years. He was born on a family farm in Renato, an Italian village north of Bologna. His family was a prosperous agricultural family at the moment. Young Ferruccio, however, was not interested in following in his father's footsteps. No, sir. He was passionate about something else. He had a wild passion for fast automobiles and motorbikes from an early age. Because of this, he was more interested in farming machinery, such as tractors, than in tilling the ground and planting crops. He was curious to know how those devices worked and how they started up and accomplished things. But you can't possibly know all that stuff by magic, right? Now, tell us what Ferruccio did. So he decided to study this subject. He enrolled in an industrial technology program at a college close to Bologna, which is distant from where he was raised. He studied and learned the ins and outs of technology there for years. But he didn't immediately begin producing Lamborghinis. Things were quite fierce because this occurred in 1940 during World War II. Well, this is when things started to change a little. When World War II broke out, Ferruccio Lamborghini was going through some difficult circumstances. After receiving the call to duty, he opted to enlist in the Italian Air Force. The surprise is that he wound himself in charge of maintaining military vehicles instead of working on fast cars and motorbikes as he had imagined. The life he had in mind wasn't there, though it was undoubtedly a helpful experience. He desired to return home and resume his regular life. But in 1945, something strange took place. The British suspected he could have the information they needed when one of the vehicles he was working on ended up in their possession. They consequently imprisoned him. Not good at all, is it not? Fortunately, he was freed in 1946. Now Ferruccio had to make a choice. He needed to decide what to do with his life going forward. Ferruccio was looking at his alternatives. He was familiar with military and agricultural tractors, thanks to his prior employment. So why not somehow merge these two hobbies, he reasoned. He initially tried his hand at building vehicles, but it didn't exactly work. He then turned back to his knowledge of tractors. He established Lamborghini Trattori, his firm, in 1947. Interestingly, Ferrari debuted in the same year. He first produced just one tractor every month, but soon the business began to take off. Ferrari made more than 4 tractors per week in a few months. He transitioned from being recognized as a tractor manufacturer to a shrewd businessman with increased success and expansion, leading to even greater success. But then, a significant event occurred: the largest automobile race competition of the 20th century began. Even now, Ferraris are still mentioned in conversation as being associated with riches, luxury, power, and speed. Ferrari is well known internationally and produces some of the most expensive automobiles ever. But Ferruccio, who founded Lamborghini, wasn't entirely sold on luxury. At some time, he purchased a Ferrari 250 GT for himself. Although he initially enjoyed driving it, he also had issues with Ferrari. He once said that Ferrari just used race vehicles and added opulent interiors. The situation then became worse. Even after Ferrari's mechanics examined Ferruccio's Ferrari, it still had minor clutch issues. He then dispatched one of his tractor specialists to investigate. The clutch in Ferruccio's tractors and the clutch in the automobile were the same, which they discovered absurd. Why on earth would someone utilize a subpar clutch in a luxury vehicle? This clutch confused them for similarity. Ferruccio decided to go to Ferrari's headquarters and talk with Enzo Ferrari, who founded the firm. However, that encounter developed into the thrilling Lamborghini-Ferrari race. Ferruccio Lamborghini and Enzo Ferrari got into a fierce argument, according to a narrative told by Valentino Balboni, who worked for Lamborghini for 40 years. Ferruccio questioned Ferrari's claim to be a luxury vehicle maker by asking whether he used tractor parts to create exquisite automobiles. Ferruccio didn't take it well, so Enzo Ferrari told him he shouldn't whine about driving expensive vehicles when he only drives tractors. Ferruccio was furious at this and retaliated by claiming, "Yes, I'm a farmer, but I'll teach you how to build sports cars from the ground up to show you what a real car should be," adding, "I'll show you what a real car should be." The problems for Ferrari started with this altercation. It was similar to Ferruccio telling someone, "You're using my tractor stuff in your cars," in plainer terms. Then Ferrari said, "You're just a farmer." Ferruccio, however, did not have it and decided to teach Ferrari how to construct sports vehicles from the start. The competition was, therefore, initiated. Ferruccio was so furious that he chose to work with Lamborghini to create the ideal sports vehicle. He put a lot of pressure on the factories to show that he could beat Ferrari. Amazingly, they were able to complete it in just 1 year. Ferruccio quickly put up a top-notch squad. They aimed to build a super swanky, super fast GT vehicle that could reach at least 240 km per hour. What else did they produce? The 350 GT Lamborghini. Ferruccio discovered that his Lamborghini was even better than a Ferrari after processing a lot of data. He was ecstatic, happy that he had fulfilled his word to himself, and motivated by the idea that everything is possible if you have faith in yourself. But how does it all end? They could surpass themselves once more with the release of Lamborghini's new SUV, the Urus, and other models. So, for the time being, the plot has a bright future. Keep checking back for more amazing stories, and don't forget to subscribe and enable alerts. Till the next time, be careful.